for like the tournament thesis or the overlay thing?
Well, they both work together, so just
Oh,
toss like a quick little paragraph in there, right?
sure.
Because you'd end up having to like, because then you could do like, you could just, I'd be lazy and change colors to match the primes for each one,
Oh, I think we can afford. I
for
think
each
I can
one.
afford to be lazy on a small little detail like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean like that'd be like, but like that'd be like changing the color of the entire overlay for each one, so that like the Yu-Gi-Oh one would have to go to a yellow or purple prime, right? So you make a purple overlay, and then you explain how this comes back, because you said the Millennium Items. The Millennium Items are now artifacts of a reincarnation of a prime who became the king of games. Congratulations. And then you have that whole
See, what did
theme.
he call his thing here? Because that was just what I was going to think about it. Because
Millennium
Aya
Puzzle.
Combat. No, because it was Aya
Puzzle.
Combat, and that's why I'm trying to think of who the
Odeon?
Millennium
You're probably looking for Odeons. Such.
Items. Hang on. No, there was an original keeper. It was in the final season of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's who like what it's what the name for the hero like for what the covenant was that was the founding Millennium Items before they started branching
Oh,
off
the
to their
founders of the.
ancestors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I
where
see it now.
Atem and Mahad and what was it, Odeon and
Uh,
Merrick's ancestors came from.
I want to say they renamed it to Gravekeepers or Tombkeepers.
Hang on. In the village of Kilelna, we're getting there.
No, no. Odeon,
Millennium
Rashid,
Oh yeah, and then
Rashid,
Akahenon,
Tombkeepers.
Millennium Ring, Mahad, the Thief King. Let me hang on. Let's find Mahad.
All
There we go.
right.
Priest-Seto.
Reset out, yeah.
The wielder of the Millennium Rod, the son of Priest Akahenon. Here we go. Hang on. Wait, hang on. Give me that Sacred Guardians. This is the one.
Yeah, they're Tombkeepers. I'm almost positive on that. Take Guardians, the Servant of the Pharaoh, Atem. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure they were all just reincarnations of like a king's court,
Here we go. The
like
Sacred
Atem's
Guardians.
court.
Yes. So this was the idea that they had at that time. And chat, bookmark this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mortal
Two,
Kombat tournament,
three,
right?
four, five, six, seven.
Called because my whole thing is Aya Combat, so I could go the route
Mm-hmm.
of like Aya Combat, the Sacred Guardians, or Aya Combat Millennium,
Okay.
something in that regard. I just no patent pending yet. Okay, so 7 Millennium items. So an 8-part tournament that builds up to a specific pinnacle. Money, sure. Publicity, we'll see where that goes. Role, there is a role already set up for something like that. That's usually for people that win the general aligning of events a total of 10 respective times. That same role for those that win normal Iacons 10 times can still apply to this, where it's like a hierarchy of a bigger hierarchy of Iacon champion. Whoa.
Okay.
AB, hey, what's going on? Welcome in.
But,
And each program is named after each wielder of the Millennium Items in a series of chapters.
yeah.
So,
And
Aya
okay.
Combat, Chapter 1, Isis.
Can
Chapter
can
2,
we go up a little bit though? I'm curious about something.
Akhenaten.
I want to read it while
Oh,
I want to read something. Just at the top of the page. I want to see who who their sect dedication to. I know they're gonna say a Tim, nerd for manga, blah blah blah, Pharaoh. So scroll down a little bit. Pharaoh, and sure Pharaoh, blah blah blah. Uh, Tushada, after retiring his position, Tushada soon became the Pharaoh's grand vizier. Told him. Okay.
Sacred
Um,
Guardian.
Okay,
The
so
six priests that were deemed to be worthy on serving the pharaoh also had access to 6 of the Millennium Items.
okay.
To ensure the pharaoh's safety as well as utilizing the thing, notably
It's
after
my turn.
retiring his position and item to Shada, Simon Moran became the pharaoh's grand vizier. Simon Moran, oh, that's the dude that looks like his Yuki's grandfather.
Yeah, which explain.
And so, like I said, each chapter, there would be 7 total events that would build up to the 8th one. Now, this is the thing I'm also trying to think as a catch to this is I want the winners of I'm trying to think if I want to either be the winners of each of these events are the ones that qualify for the final one for Horakty, or do I want to have a point system that's accumulated from the past 7 leading into the 8, like what I was doing with Nikito. And in that
Or a
regard,
series?
chat, I can also show you that. Yeah, kind of like a series.
Or a
But the,
series?
but the thing with that is that
Invitational.
if it's
Do it like
okay,
an
now we're cooking. Hang
do it like an
on.
invitational. You
Okay.
win, you win, you can't you win, you can't win again. You can win again, but you're not getting another invite, right? And this allows you to do like
No, I would already
like
need to
a
make sure I
side
just have
bracket.
that in a preset. Because like chat here, this is what I had with my outline for the multi-week pinnacle that I had on my end with 2 other Dragon Ball Z collabers, and the one of the collab with not Mortal Kombat with Grand Blue, and it was a multi-week process in order to show each week by week my event and then my other partner's event in a weekly build up to the final bracket. These were and
Mm-hmm.
then at the end of 7 weeks, well, 8 weeks for this one, I kept a full tally of each point accumulation for the PlayStation side and a full point accumulation for the PC side. There has to be like an accurate point tally person. That way you have your designated 8, and then in case of those people can't show up or a few of those people can't show up, you also have your backup people, which I also had to accumulate the backup people. So that way, when everybody or all 8 people decide on what day we're gonna be able to stream this thing or sit and go over this big huge event, everybody's all set to go. Or if they can't make it, you got the backups for top 8 already set to go. They are now top 8. But it also has to be the ones closest to the general point total of the 8th place contestant. That way, it's fair in terms of the point hierarchy. And if you didn't win the event, you can still contest to win it. The thing here was for these is that for this event at the time, you can win it multiple times. It was just as long as you made top 8, you're getting on the board for brain. You're getting on the board for your points. If you stay within the allotted point total for the end of the cycle, you're qualifying by top 8 by default. Now it's just for Mortal
Yep.
Kombat.
So
I'm trying to think because for that one, there's a lot of different ways that you can plan something like that out, but it would have to be super strict if I'm going the route of okay, if this person wins it, then they can't win it again. They qualify for the final thing by default. That's one route
yeah,
that would go.
yeah. So qualify second place has to win two. It has to get second place twice, right? And then 3 times for third, and then 4, so on and so forth. So if you came in 8 times, you have a chance. You have a chance, and then you can do a last minute redemption bracket before for people that have no qualifying spot at all. It's your last chance. Last chance, and say it's double
Mm,
points to really push that home,
okay.
But then say, but for your redemption bracket, you have to win, and the winners are allowed to come back. And the win you have to play the winners anyway. The winners can just choose to block you now. But if they win, it goes to second place. They just get removed, right? Just make something interesting. You make a story. You because as a TO, we are forming the storylines, whether we think about it or not, just by how we make the bracket look.
Exactly.
Not
And the
even
presentation is a part of
before
like
seating.
how you make your because the presentation is a part of how you make your narrative for the event. Hey, absolute welcome in, man.
It's not okay. I can explain PC, but it's going to be really. It's time based. It's unfortunately time based because consoles are cheaper. They're more likely to be in everybody's house, right? So game companies are more involved in that. When a game comes out
Yeah.
strictly for just
Oh,
PC,
absolute, you can shoot that guy.
it when a game comes strictly out just for PC, it's literally at the mercy of Twitch. At this point in time, the literal mercy of Twitch, right? Because I'm excited for Guns N' Duel being re-released. This game died in 2013.
Guns and Duel. Hang on, chat. Let's take a lookie.
The card games, it's like Warhammer. At least like even if you don't make the models and everything else, right? The skills from Warhammer come into play in other places. If you just dedicate some time making the models, painting the models, just making terrain, puts in a lot more, has more skills applicable than the card game in this aspect for the prices that you're paying.
Right.
If it makes sense. Because like I can't I still don't like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, at the time of COVID, $100 Phantasme at the during a time when the most expensive card was like maybe 40,
Yeah.
33, 40. Like it's pushing it for me for one piece of cardboard that you need three sets of, that you need three of to possibly play around one deck. Maybe two.
So think on that concept sum that I have here about Iacon Mortal Kombat, Iacombat, and the concept here that me and Phantom Rip were talking about with this multi-platform, multi-series event that I'm talking about that's going to be between 7 to 8 programs with either a point system, non a point system, or possibly a private invitational. I don't know how I want to go about this just yet, but what are your thoughts down below on what you think the Mortal Kombat event could be or how you'd like it to look? And I'll see if I can create some ideas or work with people that are willing to work with me or have a vision for what I'm trying to create and just build from there. That's all I can do is just go off of what we have as a joint or agreed consensus, really. Thanks for listening to the part of the podcast here. Catch you on the next one.